The creatures of night have fallen asleep, and it is time for the heroes of dawn to rise once again in the shattered realm. It is your turn, Dawncaster, to face down evil and bring forth truth and justice and the light. Welcome. Hello everybody, welcome back to Dawncasters. As you might have noticed, we have beautiful music from one of the expansion packs. After you reach Bright Kindle, you can venture out to a mysterious mansion where things come alive from paintings, and people, both nobility and low rank, intermix in the great world of politics and behind-the-scenes sorcery. We have again engaged this particular part of the adventure because we reached Bright Kindle. We are playing the Elementalist, which is a very powerful, beautiful, wonderful class. In fact, I've gotten quite far with the Elementalist, and you will enjoy it too. Of course, this is a roguelike, so I have unlocked quite a few features for my Elementalist, and this will require you getting something called Fate Shards. So, yes, I do know what they are, and I will stop calling them Fetish Shards. They're Fate Shards. So I thank you very much to my channel friends who helped me understand the spellings, and I thank the developer very much for having a codex that allows me to understand what is going on. And if you didn't know this is Game Gobble Tap, the channel that describes absolutely everything. My name is Michael Gray, and you are here with me to share in the adventure. Big shout out to all my channel friends and to MyNoise for the beautiful rain and thunder in the background. You can find this game, Dawncaster, and MyNoise, and me on X in the description, in the grave below. But yes, we have a delicious cup of coffee, Dawncaster coffee, the coffee of a hero. And we just finished off a really delicious peanut power bowl from the local smoothie place, which is Capital City Squeeze here in Midtown Sacramento. And the game is known as Mid-Ghoul Squeeze. Yes, and I also have a bit of a little treat. I have my favorite, the peanut power bowl is my treat. And my muscle power, which has no sugars or sweeteners, that is basically a meal replacement. So it's not very much, but you know, I'm trying to lose weight. Anyway, hope you all miss me. Last time we were here, we did a Father's Day special. It was a no commentary, it was either a low or no commentary video. I got lots of good responses. Y'all were very happy. I was very mellow. It was a very mellow recording, very relaxed and kickbacked. But yeah, let's begin our adventure. Again, I know nothing about this mansion. I've already learned that you can switch the music, which makes certain effects in the background activate. So that's really one of the cool things. Now, it either hurts you or helps you to switch the music. Now, if you switch the music to certain elements, you will be able to remove ailments on your character. And if you switch the music to other things, you'll get anger, which helps out you melee fighters. So I've found that removing ailments seems to be the best. However, it's not good when I put an ailment on my opponent and they're able to remove it. So there's a lot of things for you to consider in the mansion. You have to decide if whether your build relies on ailments, status effects in other words, because by removing these things, you're removing your damage. So play around with it and see which one that you like the most. But that is all the information I have right now. I'll be playing a lot of the expansions, and we'll be playing the Elementalist for the next few weeks. I do believe we have so many classes to cover. It's going to be so fun. I'm enjoying Dawncasters so very much. All right, let's go ahead and do some more exploring. We were currently ready to speak to the headmaster of this particular mansion. Again, I'm very unfamiliar with this particular journey. This is my first time here, so I will be making lots of mistakes. All right, let's go.
Count Vesperin, confront the Lord of the House.
Count Vesperin, we need to confront them. Hopefully we don't have to fight them, okay?
Count Vesperin, Count Vesperin, our consul representative. I trust you've been enjoying tonight's events?
Yes, I have been.
Confront him about the merchant.
Okay, we can talk about the people in the paintings. There seems to be people stuck in paintings in this mansion, which I do believe is either witchery, sorcery, or some kind of vampiric occasion. But there are people that are trapped in the paintings on the wall. So let's see what the Count has to say.
Confront him about the merchant. Count Vesperin, I see. You've been snooping around, have you? It was bound to happen. To tell you the truth, I made a grave mistake.
Uh-oh.
A mistake? You'll explain it to the courts, traitor. A mistake? Count Vesperin indeed. You see, when the loudmouth baboon knocked on my door, only to bluntly introduce himself as a proud representative of the Emporium, I, ellipsis, panicked. That particular organization and I have a long history.
Oh, it must be our friend who sells all the cards. He gets into so much trouble.
History? Count Vesperin, yes. You see, my title isn't my own, but granted to me through my marriage. I wasn't born into nobility, and there were times when I had to resort to less than desirable means to survive. Being a conjurer of some skill, the Emporium quickly found a use for my talents. The Emporium? Count Vesperin, an organization that presents itself as the Merchant Guild of Candor. While in truth this veil is so thin you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who doesn't know the true extent of their activities. Theft, blackmail, murder. You can trust every item they sell has been paid for with blood.
Yeah, the Emporium is pretty shady.
Why did you panic? Count Vesperin, I have been hiding here on the outskirts of civilization for nearly a decade now, trying to leave my past behind me. But with the war effort right at my doorstep, I was bound to draw their attention sooner or later.
I want to give you all a little bit of information about what current quest and mission I am on. I am currently trying to find not only the Dawnbringer, but also Bright Kindle wants me to return several soldiers back to the fold. So we're going to be bouncing around between expansion and the normal core chain line of quests.
Continue. Count Vesperin, when this merchant showed up, I was sure his idiocy was nothing but a poorly veiled disguise for an Emporium assassin. I struck before he could, and locked him up while deciding what to do about the situation. I would have done the same. That is still a crime. That is still a crime. Count Vesperin, I am well aware, Arcanist. But I am sure it's not worth spilling any blood over. I am sure even the consul would agree my donations to support the crusade far outweigh this lapse of judgment on my part. You brought this on yourself.
Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to let him go. We're supposed to be working for justice, so we can't just let you go because you're rich.
She might, but I don't. I agree. You acted out of self-defense. I agree. You acted out of... She might, but I don't. You brought this on yourself. Count Vesperin, you, ellipsis, I have made mistakes. And it's fair to say I have not suffered the consequences of my actions as much as one would like in a just world. I have wealth. I have married the love of my life. Continue. Count Vesperin, but I have lived in fear on the very edge of civilization, exiled from my home because I refused to continue associating with the Emporium. I am sure the consul will agree this counts for something. She might, but I don't. I agree. You acted out of self-defense. She might, but I don't. Count Vesperin, I see there is no reasoning with you. Very well then, if it's a duel you want, ellipsis.
Okay, looks like we're gonna have a duel.
Continue. Count Vesperin, Lord Vesperin smirks for a moment. Just when I was starting to think this party was going to be a dud. Very well, let's dance. Continue. Count Vesperin, with a sudden flash of smoke, the Lord vanishes from the room. In his place, a ghostly hand makes a waving gesture before it starts to grow, and grow, and grow until it blocks the only exit of the luxurious study.
Looks like we're stuck here. This is gonna be a boss battle.
Continue. Enemy gains Viennese enchantment. Enemy gains illusion enchantment. Your turn. Area status, Viennese. On even turns, gain 1 haste. On ODD turns, gain 1 slow. Changes after every combat.
Oh, okay, so that's what's going on. Haste and slow is alternating between us. Okay. Did I start my timer?
Timer off. Timer on.
Okay, how much time is left here?
The timer time is 0 hour 30 minutes.
Okay, we got about a good 30 minutes to get into this adventure. I'm trying to keep these episodes anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, so they're not too terribly long. All right, let's go with, what are we going to do to this particular guy?
Orb of Thunder. +1, int 1, deal *2 damage. Attuned to lightning. Chain.
We're very
Magic
much,
lightning action. Comment.
we very much
Attuned.
have a
If you
lot
are
of
not attuned
lightning
already.
abilities.
Attuned character info.
We're using a lot of lightning abilities. And yes, I am aware that voiceover is all over the place. It's talking over me and I'm getting big pauses. I'm not creating those pauses. It's just that voiceover is, the recording status is moving voice elements and silences back and forth. And again, it has sorted itself out. And I do apologize if you're noticing gaps in speech. It's not me. I'm speaking pretty much consistently, and if I take a break, I usually let you know, hey, I'm going to sip coffee, or I need to bio, or I need to, refill my coffee. But I just wanted to let you know, I do notice the gaps because I do listen to everything I record. All right, let's get going.
Orb of Thunder, +1. Force Wind, +1. Neutral 1. Deal star 3-star damage. Surge of Intellect. Gain
Let's do
You gain 1 focus stacks. Call the storm. Surge of Intellect.
Let's get,
You gain 1 focus
2
stacks.
searches, 2 searches, that's really good. If you hear that $sign that sounds like this, that's good. That means I got a good card or something good happened. You might also hear this. That's me being very happy. Or you might hear this. It used to be a whistle, now it's a half whistle. If something bad happens, you might hear this. Or you might hear this. All my sounds are half now. I'm gonna have to get a new noisemaker. My noisemaker is now trash. So I do apologize. My noisemaker used to work really well, but it is falling apart. I guess I have to spend money and get another one.
Orb of Thunder, +1. Int 1. Deals Force Wind, +1. Call the Storm. Conjure random lightning. Player status. Call the Storm. Force Wind, +1. Neutral 1. Deal star 3-star damage. Gain 2 chain. Magic lightning basic attack. Common. Call the Storm. Conjure a random lightning card for each point of your focus. Magic lightning action.
Let's go here.
Common. Focus. At the start of the turn, draw an additional card if you have 5 or more focus. Conjure. Creates a temporary card that is removed after Shocking Grasp. Int 1. Deal damage equal to your chain. 0. If you have 5 or more chain.
Yet.
Player status. Shocking Storm Arrow. Deal 2 damage.
Ooh.
Cascade. Conjure a free Storm Arrow.
Let's
Chain.
get Storm
Enemy
Arrow.
takes 2 damage. You gained 1 chain stacks.
Shoot off some of these storm arrows.
Player status. Shocking Grasp. Force Wind. +1. Orb of Thunder. +1. Character info. Orb of Thunder. +1. Enemy takes 3 damage. You gain Orb of Thunder enchantment. You gained 1 chain stacks.
We got
you
a
gain
chain
lightning attunement
stack.
enchant. Shocking Grasp. Int 1. Deal damage equal to your chain. 2.
Let's use that.
Enemy takes 4 damage. You
Might
gain
as well
1 chain
use it.
stacks. Force Wind. Enemy takes 6 damage. You gained 1 chain stacks. You
I
gained 1
should have
chain
used the
stacks.
Force Wind first, which is our primary weapon. So Force Wind is our primary weapon, and these other things are simply magic effects, magic abilities.
Player status. Frost Attune. Force Wind. Character. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy gained 1 slow stacks. You gained 1 slow stacks. Enemy playing cards. Rock. Enemy gained 5 armor stacks. You gained 3 dazed stacks. Your turn. End turn.
Okay, looks like the count is really defensive. Okay, so that means we need to be defensive too. We do have some barriers. Typically what you use on the Arcanist is ice or fire shields. You also have shields that are based on how much intelligence you have left over. Typically, barrier is the absolute most powerful ability I have because it blocks everything. And it doesn't disappear, it doesn't dissipate. Typically, things like block and shields like fire and ice disappear at the end of your turn. But the effects they leave behind, such as barrier, remain consistent, though they can be dispelled by enemies' abilities.
Player energy. In 3.
We got 3 energy. And yes, I now understand how energy works. I'm not good at it, but I understand it.
End turn. Character info. Force Wind. +1. Fast forward. Bonus. Int 1. Gain 2 haste or inflict 2 slow or
Let's
draw a card.
inflict some more
Scholar.
slow.
Enemy gain 2 slow stacks. You gain 2 haste stacks.
So haste counters slow, slow counters haste. So you just want to give yourself haste and give the enemy slow. Slow is very effective.
Conduit. Gain 2 chain.
Let's
Flow.
get to
You gained 1 chain
Conduit.
stacks. You gained 1 chain stacks. Block. Gained player status. Date. Block. Lightning bolt. +1. Minimalist. Int 1.
Ooh,
gain
get a
1. You
minimalist.
gained 1 stun stacks. You gained 1 focus stacks. Enemy takes 3 damage.
Got that.
Force Wind. +1. Neutral 2. Deal star 3-star. Character info.
Let's get Force Wind.
I can't play this card right now. Lightning bolt. I can't play this card right now.
Okay,
Force character info. End turn.
We're out of
End turn.
moves.
Enemy turn. Enemy gained 1 haste stacks. You gained 1 haste stacks. Enemy playing cards. Paper. Enemy gains paper enchantment. Your turn. End
Okay,
turn.
now we're playing rock, paper, scissors, so we got to be careful. What you need to deal with paper is scissors. But if we pull rock, we're going to be hurt.
Character info. Block. Electroflare. Inflict 3 burning.
Let's get
The
to-
enemy gained 3 burning stacks.
Give us some
Fire
burn.
Shield. Int 1. Gain 3 barrier. Storm bolt. Fire shield.
Fire
Int 1.
shield
Gain
and
3
a-
barrier.
and
At the start of
electroflare.
next turn. Inflict burning equal. Block. Gain 3 armor. Fire shield. Int 1. Gain 3 You gain 3 barrier stacks. You gain fire shield enchantment.
Yeah, fire shield's quite effective. It gives the enemy burn equal to your barrier, and then it remains to keep burning them every turn. And it also protects you from damage. That's why I don't feel you need block as an elementalist, but it's up to you to, as an arcanist, sorry. I'm confusing Arcanist with the elementalist from Lost Island. But they're very similar, but you know.
Block. Neutral. Player status. Block. Stormbolt. +1. Enemy takes 5 damage. You gain 1 chain stacks.
Nice Stormbolt.
Block. Gain character info. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy gained 1 slow stacks. You gained 1 slow stacks. You take 12 damage. Enemy playing cards. Rock. Enemy gain 5 armor stacks. You gain 3 dazed stacks. Enemy takes 3 damage. Your turn.
Okay, we're taking damage. They're hitting pretty hard.
Player energy. Show deck. Player health 7.
We only have 7 health, so that's not good. And yes, you do have to try to heal yourself, and I didn't do that very well. Because there's a feasting table that you eat. You can eat from or change the music. I made the mistake on using it to change the music because I was trying to learn the class. Of course, that's going to probably cost us our life.
Show deck. Player energy. End turn. Character info. Forcewind. +2. Forcewind. Plus shocking grasp. Block. Neutral. Counterspell. Int 2.
Oh, let's go for
Enemy gain 1
counterspell.
jinx stacks. Player status. Healing potion. Block. Healing potion.
Ooh, let's take that
Heal
healing
15 health.
potion.
Character info. Forcewind. Character Forcewind. Plus shocking grasp. Block. Shock Forcewind. You gained 1 stun stacks. Enemy has blocked this attack. You gained 1 chain stacks. You gained 1 chain stacks. Forcewind. I can't play this card. Character info. End turn.
We're being stunned a lot.
Enemy
by
turn.
the
Enemy
count.
gained 1 haste stacks. You gained 1 haste stacks. Enemy playing cards. Drop. Enemy takes 3 damage. Your turn.
Okay, the good thing is they're not really heavy duty attacking us, but they could be just toying with us.
Character info. Call the storm. Conjure a random lightning card for each point of your focus.
Let's go
Magic
for this.
lightning action. Common. Focus. At the surge of intellect.
Let's get
You gain
that.
1 focus stacks. Conduit. Gain 2 chain. You gain 1 chain stacks. You gain Wild Storm. Int 2. Conjure 3 zap cards. Gathering Storm. Int 1. Deal star 6 star damage. Echo. Gathering Storm. Int
Let's
1.
do-
Deal 4 damage.
Let's-
Echo zap. Deal 2 damage. Chain. Magic lightning conjuration. Common. Enemy takes 2 damage. You get fire shield. Int 1. Gathering Storm. Zap. Deals
Let's zap
enemy takes 3 damage.
again.
You zap. Deals enemy takes 4 damage.
Use all these
You gain 1
zaps.
chain stacks. Shocking grasp. +1. Block. Neutral 1. Fire shield. Int gathering storm. Int 1. Deal star 7 star damage. Enemy takes 7 damage.
We're hitting them pretty good here.
Player status. Frost attunement. Your next zap. Deal 2. Enemy takes 2 damage. You gained 1 chain stacks.
More zaps.
Shocking grasp. +1. Block. Fire shield. Player status. Frost attunement. Fire block. Shocking grasp. Character info. End turn. Player energy.
We have no energy
End
left.
turn. Character info. Shocking grasp. Enemy takes 3 damage. You gained 1 chain stacks. Fire shield. Int player status. Player status. Players fire shield. Int block. Neutral 1. Fire shield. Int 1. Gain 3 barrier.
We don't have
At the
any
start of the block.
intelligence.
Neutral 1. The character info. End turn.
Let's end their turn. We did pretty good damage. Let's check out the count's health.
Character block. Fire player status. Player status. Area status. Enemy status. Enemy status. Illusion. Illusions have a 25% chance to take no damage from basic attacks.
Oh, so illusions are very strong against melee classes. So keep that in mind, folks, if you're taking on the count.
Enemy status. Burning. Stacks 3 at the end of the turn. Take 1 damage per stack of burning.
I really love burning enemies with the Arcanists.
Enemy name spectral hand. Enemy health 10. Enemy energy 2. Enemy hand. Hex. Enemy description. A ghostly hand blocks your path.
So the count just turns into a giant spectral hand, and that's really, really efficient against melee attacks and has a pretty good smack, but not a very fast smack. I think if he gets a lot of haste, he could be very dangerous.
Enemy health 10.
He's only got 10 health left, so we just have to hold on a little longer.
Enemy names. Enemy status. Burn. Enemy status. Enemy status. Area status. Player status. Player status. Player status. Fire shield. Int 1. Block. Character. End turn. Player energy. Show deck. Player health 22.
We got 22 health. The count has 10 health. The spectral hand, which is the count's current form, has 10 health. So we might survive. Let's find out what happens.
Show deck. Player energy. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy gained 1 slow stacks. You gained 1 slow stacks. Enemy playing cards. Rock. Enemy gained 5 armor stacks. You gained 3 dazed stacks. Enemy takes 3 damage. Your turn.
Now, the problem with daze is that daze stuns you. And if you're not careful, yeah, you can lose because you're not getting to fight and the enemy's still hitting you. So, yeah, Daze is a very effective attack by the enemies in the game.
Character info. Counterspell. Into
Let's get
neutral
that
one.
counter
I don't
spell.
have enough energy.
Oh, we don't have any energy. That really is not good.
Character info. End turn. Character. End turn. Player energy. In. 2.
We have 2 energy.
End turn. Character info. Counterspell. Into neutral 1. Inflict. Orb of Thunder. Plus 1. Stormbolt. Plus block. Neutral. Force Wind. Plus block. Neutral. Player status. Daze. Stacks 3 when
Not a
playing
good
card.
draw.
Decrease
Let's
days
go
by
for
1.
Force
When
Wind.
block. New Force Wind.
Let's use
Plus
Force
1.
Wind.
Enemy has blocked this attack.
Oh, he's
you gained 1
blocking.
chain stacks. You
And he
gained 1 chain
has a
stacks.
lot of block.
Block. Neutral. Stormbolt. Plus 1. Int 1. Deal star 7 star damage. Continuity.
Let's try that.
Enemy takes 5 damage.
Okay,
You gained 1
that
chain
hit him.
stacks.
I think that's all the int we have.
Orb of Thunder. Plus 1. I don't have enough energy. Counterspell. Character info. End turn.
Let's end our turn.
Enemy turn. Enemy gained 1 haste stacks. You gained 1 haste stacks. Enemy playing cards. Scissors. You take 2 damage. You take 2 damage. Next.
I think we won because of the burn. The burn is what did him in.
Character info. Player gold 35.
All right, I think we won. Let's see if we did.
Area status. Enemy status. The enemy status. Illusion. Illusions have a 20. Enemy status. Burning. Settings. Settings. Enemy areas. Player gold 30. Player gold 35. Area status. Viennese. On even turns. Gain 1 haste. On enemy status. Viennese. Enemy status. Enemy status. Settings. Settings. Setting. Enemy area player carrot next.
Okay, we did win, so let's
Show deck. Next.
go next.
Level up. Pick a talent.
Oh,
Reroll button for rotten
cool.
to the core.
Yay! I really love when we level up.
Reroll button for rotten to the core.
Okay, so when it comes to talents, you can re-roll them if you don't like them, but you can't do it infinitely. I think you can re-roll maybe 1 or 2 times. But if you see a really good one, jump on it because you can't go back.
Select rotten to the core. Replace all malignance cards in your deck with forbidden fruit. At the start of combat, conjure a forbidden fruit.
Oh, this is really cool. If you're into malignant decks, which I'm hoping to get into one day, you can this card would be really powerful. But I don't have any malignances, so let's just not worry about it.
Reroll button for endless arsenal.
This is for melees, Endless Arsenal.
Select endless arsenal. Start of turn. Conjure a free basic attack.
We don't use basic attacks.
Reroll button for spell fury.
Okay, Spell Fury, that sounds great. Let's see what that is.
Select spell fury. Conjure a free copy of the first magic, non-basic attack action you play during combat.
That's perfect because whatever we get, it's free. So we can use what we have, chain it to the free one, and then finish it, do a finishing Shocking Grasp. And yes, we're still unlocking things, but we're a good level 7 or 8 as a Arcanist.
Select spell fury. Conjure a free copy of the first magic, non-basic attack action you play during combat.
I'm gonna go for that.
Reroll button. Select spell fury. Conjure a free copy of the first magic, non-basic. You gain 8 gold. Skip rewards.
You get so little money from the bosses in this game.
Character info. Player gold 43. Area status. Viennese. Enemy status. Viennese. On each enemy status. Enemy status. Orb of fire. Int 1. Deal 1 damage. Inflict 1 burning. Attune to fire. Fast forward. Spell echo. Add orb of fire to deck.
Let's see what, we have some new abilities. We got some rewards. Let's choose one.
Spell echo. Fast forward. Orb of fire. Enemy status. Enemy orb of fire. Int 1. Deal 1 damage. Inflict 1 burning. Attune to fire. Magic fire action. Common. Burning. At the end of the turn, take 1 damage per stack of burning. Attune. If you are not attuned already, attune to a random element. Attunements empower actions that share their type.
This is good. Orbs of fire are really good. It's just going to basically burn the enemy. We won't have to kill one of our cards and send it to the graveyard, so that's not bad. Orb of fire could be good. If we really want to focus on fire, we can. We already have the Orb of Thunder, which allows us to attune to thunder. I think one day I might want to make a particular Arcanist that can utilize lightning, fire, or ice. That'd be a really hard build to make, but it could be really fun.
Fast forward. Int 1. Gain 2 haste or inflict 2 slow or draw a card.
Oh,
Scholar.
this is one of
Do
my
all 3.
favorite cards.
Magic action. Common. Slow. Increase the cost of the next drawn card by neutral, then decrease slow by 1. Haste. Reduce the cost of the next drawn card by 1 energy, then decrease haste by 1. Scholar. Your deck contained 20 or more cards at the start of combat.
Okay, so there's something I need to explain. Pro tip number 1. Scholar is a little tricky because the wording isn't really great. So You are a scholar if you have 20 or more cards in your deck. So what the wording should say is, if you have 20 or more cards in your deck, scholar is active. But I'm telling you so you know how that works. So you don't get both effects if you don't have 20 cards in your deck. If you have less than 20 cards in your deck, you only get to choose whether to slow your opponent or give yourself haste. So keep that in mind. So I always keep at least 20 cards in my deck so that Scholar pops off. So that's a great card, slowing the enemy and hasting yourself. It's a great card. I might choose it.
Spell Echo. Play a copy of your last played magic action. Gain slow equal its to cost. Action. Rare. Slow. Increase the cost of the next drawn card by neutral, then decrease slow by 1.
Oh, this is awesome. So whenever we play a copy, we get an echo. I wonder if this is every turn or for the whole battle.
Fast forward. Spell Echo. Play a copy of your last played magic action. Gain slow equal its to cost. Action. Rare. Slow.
Oh.
Increase the cost of the next drawn card by neutral, then decrease slow by 1.
Okay, I get it. So whatever card we played, we play Echo, and Echo plays a slow equal to that card's cost. So if that card has a ridiculously high cost, you're going to be playing a very powerful slow. Slow is very effective against huge enemies, powerful attacking huge enemies, bosses, and it's also effective against small quick enemies like rogues, snakes, spiders, things like that. So yeah, this is a great card. I don't think I'll get off more than a 1 or 2 slow though. So that is one of the limitations of this card. So let's look at all the cards again and see which one we're going to decide on, because we really need to be careful here. We really got to choose good cards to build our deck up. So let's think about all 3 cards.
Fast forward. Orb of Fire. Enemy status. Burning. Orb of Fire. Int 1. Deal 1 damage. Inflict 1 burning. Attune to fire. Magic fire action. Common. Burning. At the end of the turn, take 1 damage per stack of burning. Attune. If you are not attuned already, attune to a random element. Attunements and power actions that share their type.
Orb of Fire. I'm not so hot on that upon second thought of it. It's very specialized. If I was running a all Arcanist fire deck, oh yeah, I'd jump on this in a second. But we aren't. We're running more of a lightning Arcanist deck. So let's take a look at the second option.
Fast forward. Int 1. Gain 2 haste or inflict 2 slow or draw a card. Scholar. Do all 3. Magic action. Common. Slow. Increase the cost of the next drawn card by neutral, then decrease slow by 1. Haste. Reduce the cost of the next drawn card by 1 energy, then decrease haste by 1. Scholar. Your deck contained 20 or more cards at the start of combat.
So when Scholar words it, your deck contains, it say your deck must contain would be the easiest way to make that sound correct. In the grammar of it would sound better if we said your deck must, M-U-S-T, contain 20 cards or more. So this is a win-win card no matter what. Haste is great. It lowers the cost of your cards down, and it does it for a few times. And slowing your enemy basically makes them standing still and you are moving around really quickly. So this is never a bad card, and this will be my second one in my deck. I didn't show you all the deck because that tends to be really slow and boring for me to listen to, and I'm sure it's boring for you to listen to. So I'm not going to show you my deck unless I start doing STG series on Dawncaster. So for the most part, you'll just have to hear my cards as I play them. Now, if you do want me to talk more about the individual cards in an STG form, let me know in the comments, and I'll go into some separate episodes where I just talk about my strategy and what I'm trying to do. But this is a great card. And I can't say I hate this card at all. It's really awesome. All right, let's take a look at our last option, which is a little bit of a bag of tricks here.
Spell Echo. Play a copy of your last played magic action. Gain slow equal its to cost. Action. Rare. Slow. Increase the cost of the next drawn card by neutral, then decrease slow by 1.
So this one's great. It's an echo. I don't know if you get the echo of the cards you played, its effect, and also a slow, or do you only get a slow? You know, you really, again, my advice, pro tip number 2, is listen to the cards, listen to them several times, experiment with them, but don't rely on them. If it's a new card, don't rely on that card to win the day for you. Every card in this game is balanced. Just like when we're playing Conjury, I tell you that there are god cards in Conjury, but they all have balance. They all have strengths and weaknesses, and so you can't build a deck on a card you don't know. So experiment with a card in a less threatening situation, like when you're in the beginning of a game. And if you really like it, then you can incorporate it into your runs where you're trying to beat the whole game. So I don't know this card, so I'm really hesitant to really add Echo into my deck. But the other card before this, the second choice, that's a very well-known card to me. It is highly effective, very efficient, and gets the job done. So we're going to take that second card.
Add Orb of Fire to deck. Add Fast Forward to deck.
Fast Forward is a great card.
Exploration. Settings. Area status. Mazurka. At the start of every other turn, you and your foe cleanse an affliction. Changes after every combat.
Okay, Mazurka is a field card. If y'all are familiar with games like Yu-Gi-Oh, there are things called field cards. Or if you're familiar with games like Versus, field effects affect you and your enemy. Now, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're terrible, and sometimes they're awesome for you. So you just have to have a deck that takes advantage of them. Now, having cards in your deck that can make you switch footing and play a certain way is important. That's why building a deck that is one-dimensional can sometimes come back to bite you, because you may not be able to adjust in certain situations where the field effects are quite strange and weird. And let me tell you something, Dawncaster loves weird field effects. So this is a game of field effects. This is you versus Pegasus for the most part. Pegasus and Toontown, things like that, or one of those weird characters in Yu-Gi-Oh which love to make machines strong, or bugs strong, or dinosaurs strong. So you've got to pay attention to field effects in the game. Though they don't seem important, they are very important. And if you have the wrong field effect in play, you're going to lose because the enemy is prepared for the field effects. All right, so what I think, we're going to take a peek at what enemies we have next. I think since we've defeated the Count, let's see what they want to do next.
Settings. Areas. Spectral Guard. A ghostly guard in full plate armor.
Okay.
Spectral Hand. A ghostly hand blocks your path.
Oh, we have to deal with all the spectral guards of the Count. So it looks like the Count has thrown up a bunch of spectral guards. But what we really need to do is eat some food because we are a little hurt.
Alchemist. My potions are at least 47%
we can
safe.
visit the Alchemist lab.
Enemy aura. Challenger. Challengers have to be selected first. Opportunities don't vanish while targeting a challenger.
Okay, so challengers are a new game effect, I think, that came out in the expansions. So challengers are enemies that appear that need to be defeated, but if there are treasures and opportunities, those won't disappear. As you know, for the most part, treasures and opportunities disappear if you ignore them and want to go after monsters and enemies or explore. So my advice, pro tip number 3, is take on the treasures and opportunities as soon as possible. Keep in mind, pro tip number 5 or 4, if you are hurt, visit the campsites in the mansion, eat from the table as soon as you can. In fact, pro tip number 5, always keep your health as full as possible. If you can take, pro tip number 6, effects that can replenish your health, that's good. Pro tip number 7, if you can take talents that give you incremental growths of health, hit points, that's also very good. Pro tip number 8, draining life is really good for the Arcanists. And pro tip number 10, finishing off our pro tips for this episode, you can buy healing potions from the potion person, which they appear randomly. So it's really fun. The merchants and the potion creators, they just kind of appear in all the places just magically. They're like, hey, what's going on? Want to buy something? I love that. Yeah, I don't mind that break of immersion because you need their stuff. All right, so let us see if there's anything we can do before we take on these spectral hands.
Player Gold 43. Enemy aura. Alchemist. My potion. Enemy. Player Gold 43. Character info. Use weapon power. Show deck. Player health 23.
We have 23 health, so we are really in dire straits.
Show deck. Use weapon. Show deck. Use weapon. Character info. Use weapon power. Flaming weapon. Use your weapon power. Inflict 1 burning per level at the start of next combat. Passive. Gain the fire immunity talent.
We will gain the fire immunity talent, and no, I would assume it gives you immunity to fire. That's going to be really effective if you go into the Druidic lands. So there are Druidic lands. There's a whole world that's in the expansion packs that has a lot to do with fire and ice. And if you can't protect yourself from fire, the elementals will just eat you for lunch. You will get your socks burnt off.
Character info. Player gold 43. Enemy aura. Challenger. Challengers have to be
Let's
selected
buy a
first.
potion.
Alchemist, my potions are at least 47. I need to attack the challenger first.
Okay, we can't. Okay, so now I get it. Okay, challengers are doing something that Future Arena and Lost Island and other games in the Adventure to Fate series by Touchman do, is that they are taunting. So that's good to know. We know that this is a taunting mechanism. Okay, so let's deal with this. Let's deal with these phantoms, which are going to kill us.
Spectral Guard A Ghost. Area status. Mazurka. Spectral Guard A Ghostly Guard in full plate armor.
And I don't want to deal with you yet.
Spectral Hand A Ghostly Hand blocks your path.
Let's go with the
Battle.
spectral.
Spectral. Enemy gains Mazurka enchantment. Enemy gains
Spectral
illusion
hand.
enchantment. Your turn. Area status. Mazurka. At the start. Block. Neutral
I
1.
did
Gain
very
3 armor.
well against
Action.
Spectral hand.
Common. Force Wind. +1. Stormbolt. Plus Surge of Intellect. You gained 1 focus stat. Player status. Focus. Call the storm. Stormbolt. Force Wind. +1. Block. Neutral. Character info. Block. Neutral 1.
I'm gonna
Gain
drop
3
a
armor.
block,
You gain 3
actually.
armor stacks. Stormbolt. +1. Int 1. Deal star 5 star damage. Enemy takes 5 damage. You gained 1. Call the storm. Conjure a random lightning card for each point of your focus. Magic. Player status. Call the Stormbolt. Force Wind. Character info. Force Wind. Stormbolt. +1. Deal star 6 star damage. Continuity.
that.
Enemy takes 6 damage. You gained 1 chain stacks.
I want to kill this thing efficiently and get treasures, and if possibly get rid of these particular blockers, taunters, and maybe get a shot at the table and eat a little bit.
Call the storm. Zap. Force Wind. Plus zap.
Ooh, zap.
Deal star 4 star damage.
Now, zap
Chain.
is a free
Magic
card.
lightning conjuration. Common.
It doesn't cost me anything.
Force zap. Enemy takes 4 damage. You gained 1 chain stacks. Force Wind. +1. Neutral. Character info. Force Wind. Character. End turn. Player energy. In. 1.
We have 1 energy left.
End turn. Character info. Force Wind. Call the storm. Conjure a random lightning card for each point of your focus. Magic lightning action. Common. Focus. At the start of the turn, draw an additional card if you have 5 or more focus. Conjure. Creates a temporary card that is removed after combat.
Let's go for that.
Player status. Player status. Armor. Player's Stormbolt. Int 1. Deal 4 damage. Continuity. Conjure a zap. Empower. Enemy takes 4 damage. You gained 1 chain stacks.
Wow, we have a good first turn. Good lord.
Force Wind. Plus zap. Deal. Enemy takes 3 damage. You gained 1 chain stacks.
Lightning bills are so cool.
Force Wind. +1. Neutral 1. Deal. Player status. Force Wind. +1. Character info. End turn.
We're done.
Enemy turn. End turn. Enemy playing cards. Rock. Enemy gain 5 armor stacks. You gain 3 dazed stacks. Your turn.
All right.
End turn.
Again, this is a rock, paper, scissors battle with the hands, so I don't quite understand it fully, but everybody knows rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, paper beats rock, right?
Character info. Block. Neutral 1. Force Wind. +1. Fast forward. Bonus.
Ooh, there we go.
Enemy gain 2 slow stacks. You gain 2 haste stacks.
I love fast forward.
Force Wind. Plus fire shield.
Well,
Gain
there we
3,
go.
You gain 3 barrier stacks. You gain fire shield enchantment. You gain frost attunement enchantment.
Okay, pro tip 11, bonus pro tip. You might be confused about shields. So shields attune you, but they don't necessarily attune you to the magic you're looking for. They randomly attune you. So they could attune you to the magic you just used, or they could attune you to a different magic that you don't necessarily want. So, but it's very easy to bring your attunement back to the attunement you want. Simply look for a card that attunes you to a specific type of element that you want. So if you want fire, find a card like an Orb of Fire that attunes you exactly to fire. And that's the wrong example because Orb of Fire actually randomly attunes you. So again, it's going to take a little practice for you to learn which cards work best for your deck.
Block. Neutral 1. Force Wind. +1. Mint Blist. Int
Oh,
1.
there, I
Gain
want
1.
that.
You gained 1 stun stacks. You gained 1 focus stacks. Enemy has blocked this attack.
Oh yeah, I'm stunned. He's used its ability.
Player status. Stunned. Stacks. Force block. New character info. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy playing card. Paper. Enemy gains paper enchantment. Your turn.
All
Enemy
right.
gain 3 burning stacks.
He's got 3 burning stack, and now he's using paper enchantment. All these enchantments are at the bottom. And I think we're out of time already this episode. We've been, you know, I like these shorter timers because it's like really 1 or 2 really good battles, and I'm all on top of it. When it's a long episode, I tend to get a little bit distracted and I start chatting a lot. So I like that I'm keeping these episodes 30 to 45 minutes, specifically on the 40 to 45 minutes side. I think that's just about right. Let's finish this battle if we're capable of it, and then we will wrap it up.
Character info. Block. Neutral 1. Electroflare.
Oh,
Inflict
yeah,
3
let's
burning.
do some more
The
burning.
enemy gain 3 burning stacks. Shocking
Yeah,
grasp.
burn you some
Plus 1.
more.
Int 1. Deal lightning bolt. Plus 1. Deal shocking grasp. Plus 1. Int 1. Deal damage equal to your chain. 0. If you have lightning bolt. Plus 1. Deal star 2 star to star 13 star
Let's
damage.
do that.
Enemy takes 2 damage. You gained 1 chain stacks.
I never get good lightning bolts.
Counterspell. Int 2. Enemy gained 1 jinx stacks.
Now, Counterspell is one of my favorite cards. When the enemy tries something, it counters them. I don't even think it cares if it counters a physical or a magical attack.
Block. Neutral 1. Shocking grasp. Plus 1. Int 1. Deal damage equal to your chain. 0. If you have Surge of Intellect.
Let's get a
You
search
gained
of
1 focus
intellect.
stacks. Block. Neutral. Shocking grasp. Player status. Shock block. Neutral. Character info. End turn.
Let's enter inner turn.
Enemy turn. You take 15 damage. Enemy playing
Ow.
cards. Scissors. You take 2 damage. You take 2 damage.
I think we're
Enemy
gonna
takes 6
die.
damage.
We're almost
Your turn.
dead. He hit us for 15. Ow.
Character info. Block. Neutral 1. Gain 3 armor. Fast forward. Block.
Let's block.
You gain 3 armor stat. Force wind. Plus 1. Neutral 1. Fast forward.
Just give him
Enemy
some
gain 2 slow
slow.
stacks. You gain 2 haste stacks. Orb of thunder. Plus 1. Int 1.
get some-
Enemy takes 2 damage. You
Give him
gain Orb
some
of thunder enchantment.
thunder.
You gain 1 lightning attunement. Conduit. Bonus. Gain 2 chain. Block. Neutral 1. Player status. Light block. I don't have enough energy.
I can't do
Conduit. Force
anything.
wind. Force wind. Plus 1. I don't have enough energy. Character info. End turn.
I don't have much left. I think we're gonna die here.
End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Scissors. You block the damage. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 6 damage. Your turn. End turn.
He could be close to death. Let's check.
Block. Gain 3. Player status. Lightning. Area status. Mazurka. Enemy status. Mazurka. Enemy status. Enemy status. Burning. Stack 6 at the end of enemy status. Slow. Stacks 1 enemy name spectral hand. Enemy health 22. Enemy
Oh,
energy
God,
2.
he's got a
enemy
lot of
hand.
health.
Attack. Enemy status. Area status. Mazurka. At the start of every player status. Block. Gain 3 armor.
Let's
You gain 3
block.
armor stacks. Character info. Fast forward. Bonus.
Give him
Enemy
some
gain 2
more
slow stacks.
slow.
You gain 2 haste stacks.
We're becoming more of a time Arcanist.
Force wind. Plus 1. New Wind Blast.
Let's
Gain 1.
Mind
You gain 1 focus
Blast.
stacks. Enemy takes 8 damage.
Oh yeah.
Force wind.
I'm really
Plus
starting
1.
to love
Neutral 1.
Mind
Deal
Blast.
star 3. Force wind. Plus Electroflare.
Let's get him
Enemy gain 3 burning stacks.
He should die this turn.
Force wind. Plus 1. Force wind. Plus player status. Force wind.
Let's do some
Enemy
force
takes 3 damage.
winds.
You gained 1 chain stacks. Fire attunement. And character info. Enter. Player energy. Show deck. Current player energy. End turn.
We don't have any more moves.
End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy playing card. Scissors. You block the damage. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 9 damage. Your turn. End
He's
turn.
still alive. Ugh.
Character info. Fast forward.
Let's give him.
Enemy gain 2 slow
I
stacks.
love we're
You gain
just
2 haste stacks.
slowing him down so much.
Block. Neutral 1.
Let's
You gain
block.
3 armor stacks. Counterspell. Into.
And-
I don't have enough energy.
Oh, I should have counterspelled first. That was a bad move.
Force wind. Plus 2. Counter. Force wind. Surge of intellect.
Oh, there.
Gain
Let's take
You gain 1
that.
focus stack. Counterspell. Force wind. For player status. Fire. Force wind. Or counterspell.
Let's
Into. I don't have enough energy.
counterspell.
Force wind.
I
Plus
can't do it.
enemy takes 4 damage.
We
You
hit him
gain
with
1 chain
that.
stacks.
Oh, yeah.
You gain 1
Just
chain
one
stacks.
more punch
Next.
in the face. We made it. All right. All right, let's... if you swipe back to the left, bonus pro tip number 12, you'll hear the next button. That's where you go to get the rewards from what the enemy dropped.
Show deck. Current player health 2. Player health 2.
Oh, I
Show
didn't do
deck.
it right.
Next. Character inf. Next.
Next, there it is, right there. See, next, double tap on that.
You gain 7 gold. Skip rewards.
Now, if you click skip rewards, if you don't need any more cards in your deck, and I don't advise that you ignore the drops, because there could be a rare or legendary card there, or whatever. I advise you to look at every card, because there could be something good you can get. It might make your deck a little bloated, but then when you get to the next campsite or other opportunity, you can remove the card that you don't want. thereby replacing it with a new card you just added to your deck. That's an especially effective tactic when you've just beaten a boss and there's not much for you to do after that except collect your rewards, communicate with the NPCs, and move on to the next area. So let's find out what we got for rewards.
Character info. Player gold 50. Area status. Mazurka. Enemy status. Mazurka. Enemy status. Illusion. Enemy status. Enemy status. Twin lightning. Int 1. Deal 1 to 7 damage. Echo. Chain. Magic lightning action. Uncommon.
Oh, twin lightning is something I've never used well, but I think I might be better now. I might be able to pull off twin lightning. That's definitely a priority for us to try to pick up.
Krylons. Int 3. Deal 5 damage. Draw a card. Reduce this card's cost by INT when you inflict Frozen. Magic Frost action. Common. Frozen. Reduce damage dealt by 1 for each stack of Frozen. Reduced by 1 for every card you play, and melts away entirely at the end of the turn.
I do not like Cryo Lance. I've tried it on an ice deck. Ice Arcanists are rather weak until you get some of the more advanced cards. Then they can become quite sick. I'm very bad at ice right now, so let me know what your experience is in the comments.
Stormbolt. Int 1. Deal 4 damage. Continuity. Conjure a Zap. Empower. Conjure a Zap. Chain. Magic lightning action. Common. Continuity. Triggers when played after a card of the same type. Types are melee, magic, ranged, divine. Empower. Empower is active while you have 5 or more energy. Zap. Deal. Damage 2 damage.
Stormbolt's quite effective. It's a very good choice. It's a common card. You can easily get it, so don't get too excited. It gives you a free card called a Zap. Think of a Zap as just free damage that adds, I do not believe they add any chains, but they do make your attack a little bit more of a bite. So it's a great card to choose. See which one you like the best. Don't get too many though. They're not that powerful.
Krylons. Twin lightning. Int 1. Deal 1 to 7 damage. Echo.
I'm gonna go
Chain.
for
Magic
Twin Lightning.
Krylons. Stormbolt. Add twin lightning to deck.
Let's add Twin Lightning.
Exploration. Settings. Area status. Viennese. Uneven. Settings. Area status. Viennese. Mini-boss Countess Vesperin, an accomplished sorceress and lady of the house.
Looks like there's a mini-boss. We've opened up the Countess.
Alchemist, my potions are at least 47% safe.
We could also buy a potion there.
Spectral guard, a ghostly guard in full plate armor.
We should probably deal with all these guards, but that's going to be for next time, folks. Thank you very much for joining me as the heroes of Dawn retire to their campsites and bedchambers and vestibules and other locations. The creatures of the night have arisen to wreak havoc upon all those who dare tread after the twilight. But we shall end our episode for now and return next Sunday for another episode of Dawncaster. The developer, Rick Vander Wild, thank you very much. Loving this game so very much. Your expansions are beautiful. And thank you folks for being a beautiful part of this experience. And again, if you're looking for where to find Dawncasters, you'll find a link in my description in the graveyard. And if you want to know where I get the beautiful rain sounds, which didn't come in very loudly, so I actually have to tune those up a little bit. Those are from MyNoise. MyNoise, live, work, pray, sleep, content create. They get a free commercial because they are so kind. Yes, they are so kind and fully accessible to the blind and visually impaired. You can find me on X, and you can also find other important information about my thumbnails by Poyo. Poyo has done a very beautiful thumbnail for Dawncaster, and there's a full description of it in the description graveyard, so definitely check it out. But that's it for me now, folks. Take care of yourselves, and I'll hear you next time. Bye-bye.